Inventory management within our kitchen operation was becoming a problem. So I'm responsible for all the events and catering here at McCormick Place, which is the largest convention center in North America. We serve between 100,000 and 200,000 people a week, depending on the size and scale of a show that's in town. As a result of that, keeping a really tight control over our inventory levels in terms of food product, in terms of plastics and disposables, is a top priority. We were looking for ways to better manage our kitchen inventory process and our reordering process.
My name is David Andow. I'm the president of SCI, the developers of FOOD-TRAK. FOOD-TRAK is an enterprise food and beverage management system specifically for inventory, procurement, and culinary controls. So when we start to deploy FOOD-TRAK, there's a very specific and intentional process that we start with, and it begins with understanding their operations and how they're currently doing business. Once we've established that, then we can move that into how are we going to implement FOOD-TRAK that's going to best support how they do business now.
Using FOOD-TRAK has really helped us get away from kind of what we would call the archaic system of spreadsheets and pens and pencils in storerooms, trying to fumble around with paper and losing things.
Prior to using FOOD-TRAK, it was a very manual process, right? A lot of spreadsheets, a lot of handwritten labels and lists, very mundane task, essential, but very difficult, and a lot of man hours associated with it. Very tedious and terribly inefficient.
So FOOD-TRAK as a platform, we measure it in several different metrics, one of them being the accuracy, where we were about 80% accurate prior to using FOOD-TRAK, all the way up to almost 98% right now. The amount of time and labor that it goes into managing that whole process, we've cut it in half, I think from like 30 some odd hours down to about 16 hours a week, which is just huge for our staff and our morale. We've been able to improve our cost of goods sold to almost 1%, which is upwards of almost $1 million a year. We're using the Zebra ET40 scanners, which saves us so much time and energy when you're on your dock. You just start them up and you just scan all your inventories when you're shipping and receiving. I couldn't imagine doing inventory without it.
It can be dropped from 4 feet. It can go into walk-in freezers and not worry about temperature control, or for that matter, Wi-Fi. It's been ruggedized for commercial applications.
All right, so I'm working out the Zebra ET40 here with our FOOD-TRAK system. It's so great to use because I don't have to write down anything anymore. I don't have to keep counting and recounting and all these things and then adding. It'll do it all for me.
From a training aspect, they've always been there for us. They came on site, spent several weeks with us, helped set up our vendors, helped set up our automatic processing for our payables. They've been following up with us almost on weekly and monthly phone calls, trying to find out, how they can better help us, how they can better help their other customers, and it seems like they just always care.
With any large technological implementation, there's always going to be some initial resistance. But when you get buy-in from your team that this is going to reduce the amount of time that's going to take to them to commit to this every month, to counting inventory and getting accurate food costs, they quickly buy in once they see the results.
FOOD-TRAK has been deployed to literally thousands of users across the globe. We're very proud of serving the military as well. Verticals that we serve include convention centers, casinos, hotels, resorts across the country, all designed to help them improve their food and beverage operations.
Again, it's that combination of industry expertise. Is not just a technological platform that's being wedged into the food service space, right? It's a food service technology that is meant for food service operators. So I think anybody that has a complex operation in both retail and catering should definitely take a hard look at FOOD-TRAK. Great partner, willing to commit the resources to continuing the education in this critical infrastructure technology.